Yeah, very quick one again. This is just some of that show that I just want to do as quick as possible. So it's just going to be a show. It's going to be a video that I've done. I want us to just listen to it and try to share it as far as we can. Let make this go viral. So it's going to help us, in developing the state of our dreams. My prayer, my plea is to see that we have a door where we all can return to and be proud of. Okay, that's just my greatest prayer and plea right now. So let's share this video and let's see what God can do for us. If we are to build unity, I believe strongly that in a shorter time we'll be able to get back to this. So guys, just listen to this video right now. Please just share if you can. Please guys, let's make this works. Just listen to the video. Thank you guys. Watching me from. Just trying to relax myself right now, in my studio, just to make some really quick one this evening. Like you all know, I'm a very, very strong advocate of a better Edo, and my take has been Edo first, Edo second, Edo last. Like I said, I haven't traveled, out of the country. I've toured the world, and I've also studied around. I have found out that there is no place like home. And many of these nations that we actually run to today, we actually created, made what they are by their people. I have found out that many of the Edos are losing hope. They are losing courage on the Edo nation. Reasons personal to them that we cannot actually explain. But it's becoming very disheartening to see that the once great empire, one great people with a lot of innovations and intellectual capability have become the shadow of themselves. And it baffles some of us today that we have lost hope, we've lost trust on who we actually are. And a donation that was the hallmark of the world sometimes ago, around the 12th to the 14th century, and a donation whereby art was a nickname, and a donation whereby we had the largest, longest handmade heads before the coming of modernization and civilization. It is on the Guinness Book of Record around the 16th century. And a donation whereby our forefathers were so intellectual to the point they were able to design the today modern street that you see on every part or every corner of the world. And a donation where, even when there were no electricity, they were able to create street lights on every streets that was within the Benin metropolis at that time. And a donation where we were one of the first nations in the world to have had an embassy in another man's land, and also to also have their embassy in our kingdom. Now, having narrated, the exploits of the great Edos or the Benin Kingdom before the invasion of 1897, after that very particular invasion of 1897, the Edo nation lost its salt. The Edo nation became feeble. The Edo nation became the shadow of its own self. They lost their voice. They lost their strength. And actually, the Edo nation lost their manhood. This we have carried for over 100 years, working behind the scene, not knowing what to do and where to go to. We lost our sense of craftsmanship, which was actually the hallmark of the then Benin Kingdom. We lost our dignity as the greatest warriors of their time. We lost our integrity, and we lost our stewardship to our nation and our culture and tradition. The truth of the matter is this: after 1897, the Benin Kingdom had never remained the same again. To a point, we began to lose our history completely. Foreigners began to write our histories for us. If you put on Google today, you're going to see different histories about the Benin Kingdom. Because we actually lost interest in our existence as a people. The ancient Benin Kingdom, which was the beauty of the world as at one time, according to the Portuguese that came to Benin Kingdom in the 14th century. I said Benin Kingdom was one of the most structured, most beautiful kingdom in the world. That's why they had to call it the Benin City. Today it has become the shadow of itself. We are no more ancient, neither are we modern. Because we actually lost our value. For so very many years, the donation have been in darkness, not knowing how to revitalize, revamp that Edohood or the Beninhood that was in us before the invasion 1897. If you go to the Igun area of Benin Kingdom today, you see nobody actually want to do the job that we are known for. The bronze making was actually our trademarks as a people, but we have lost it up because our artifacts have been tagged, being demonized by the Western culture. But when they get it, they worship it like gods to them. We have lost who we are, all because of the inferiority complex that the Westerner had put before us. We are seen ourselves to be inferior, but yet they marvel, ready to kill anytime they lay their hands on what actually belongs to the same kingdom that they called the developing world. They've created all manner of obstacle to see the rise of another empire. The destruction of the Benin in 1897 was not an incident, but it was a calculated plan to wipe away the city that was actually competing with the British Kingdom. They dismantled the then Benin Kingdom, dismembered them, and make them independent nations by feeding them with a lot of lies, creating hatred among brothers in order to make the Benin Kingdom, which is the headquarters of the Benin Empire, to begin to find themselves in order to perpetually make the Edos of the Benin Kingdom irrelevant in the sphere of things in the 21st century. These are all histories, right? Now we are now facing the reality in the 21st century. How are we going to change the narratives? Is my take tonight. As a Benin man, as a Benin woman, like you all know, the Benin Kingdom is not only the Edo-speaking Benins. The Benin Kingdom is actually made up of 12 tribes. You can go ask questions or go to historians in each of these tribes and ask them, who are you? They're going to tell you we are of the Benin Kingdom. You know what the white men did? They decided to call the Edo-speaking Benins to be the Benin people in order to create a wedge between these different families that actually made up the Benin Kingdom. What is the way out, guys? In this 21st century, we need to return back to how our parents actually managed in creating such a unique relationship. We need to go back to manage on how our parents actually built that very foundation that made Benin Empire to be the largest empire in the whole of West Africa and beyond. One thing that the white man created in us was hatred and disunity, distrust among us. They built that in while they were conquering each of the territories that makes up the Benin Kingdom. Right from Jaja Fopobo down, as they conquer they will find a way to tell the people that their greatest enemy was the Edo, which is the headquarters then of the Benin Kingdom, run by the Obas of our time. As we are beginning to grow, having seen the plan of these white people against us, it is high time we start taking home to build our home. I've written a lot of articles on my wall. I've done a lot of videos that there is no place like home. I'm going to be an advocate of calling the Edos back to build Edo. Around the world today, we are the most traveled of all the tribes in Nigeria. People are going to say it's not possible. You are not. Like I just said now, the Edo nation is made up of 12 tribes. All the way to Port Harcourt, all the way to Uyo, Calabar, Akwa Ibom, Delta State, Edo, even to Kogi, are all of the Benin Kingdom. To Eko, to Ghana, the Gold Coast, to Dichotomy, the Benin Republic. These are all of the then Benin Kingdom. Apart from that, the Edo-speaking Benins are also the most traveled in Nigeria. I know people are going to ask, why do you think so? We might not have the largest number of people that have traveled out, but we are the most traveled of all the tribes in Nigeria as of today. The reason being, if I do it by percentage, I don't think there is any state or any tribe in Nigeria that can compete with the Edo-speaking Benins overseas. Because there is no home in Benin today that you don't have a child, a girl child or a boy child that is outside the country. Or there is no family in Benin that you don't have a boy child or a girl child that is outside the country. That shows we are very adventurous and we have seen life from the other side. Don't be surprised, guys, because we are actually the first set of people to have traveled out of the continent of Africa, as you all know. How are we going to make Benin great again? Is by thinking back home, doing what our ancestors did. For them to actually make that head, what we call Iya, the moat, as at that time, it was unity. For them to create that wall of the palace, it was unity. For them to have street lights in the entire metropole of the Benin Kingdom, which was the headquarters of the Benin Kingdom, which was in Ogbe today, it was unity. For the Beninese to be able to fight many wars and won during their time, it was unity. That is one thing that is as at today eluding us as a people. We are no more united. We are no more doing what we ought to do. I am calling on all the sons and daughters of the great Benin Kingdom. From the east, the west, the north, and the south. Let's come back again and build that enviable kingdom that has once led the world in every ramification. Did you know that the first sailor king in the world was a Benin king? The first king in the world to be a Christian, in Africa, in Nigeria to be a Christian, was a Benin king. The first ever church that was built in the whole of Africa was actually built in Benin, known as Arosa. The first upstairs that were built in the whole of Nigeria was actually built in Benin, in Edo State today, at Ogoton, by the French people. I think that was around 12th or thereabout centuries. We have been on the map as a pace setter. That is why in the entire today Nigeria state, it is only the Benin Kingdom that is still practicing, still able to hold on to the hereditary system of monarchy because of the pattern that we have always been to. Disassociating from home will only widen the gap between us and the reality. The truth of the matter is, this is what the white man actually wants. To see you and I continually running away from home, believing the problem of Nigeria cannot be solved by anyone except them. But let me shock you guys, before the coming of these white people into our land, we have lived as kings and queens. Like I told somebody yesterday, we actually wore shirts when they came. We actually built homes when they came. We have a structural system of government that was functioning without no barrier before they came. We fought wars before they came. We were able to communicate with our neighbors before they came. We were able to know our boundaries before they came. We can be able to measure based on our own understanding of measurement before the white man came. What I think every day in my life is what actually happened. That we have lost all these ones to the Western system of operation. Wherever you are living as an Edo son, who have done so well in every field of life, remember, once Edo is always an Edo man. You can't change who you are because of situations that you feel is not working according to what you expected or planned. My plea with you guys today is to make Edo a priority. Don't look at the politicians anymore. They failed us. Not from today. The only politician that actually did a little bit to the development of Edo is Ambrose Ali and Dr. S. Obemo. They are both of blessed memory. After the 1979, from then till now, we have seen no specific government in Edo that have developed Edo the way you and I would have done that. Let's come back again. Let's build that unity that made us to find our name in the Guinness Book of Records. Let's build that unity again that make the Portuguese to come and say, wow, what a well-structured nation or city is this. Let's build that trust again. Let's build that unity again that give us so much victories while we are on the battlefield. Let's build an Edo that both of us will be proud of. I'm tired of seeking refuge in other man's land. No matter what you have, no matter the height you've gotten to, once an African black is always an African black man. If you like, own the whole world and live in the most developed nations in the world. You can never, ever be regarded as a first citizen of that nation. You might pretend for all I care, but they agree to citizenship in every nation of the world. The original people are the first. The second are the mixed blood, the one we call the mulat. Then the third set of citizenship are the white foreigners. Then you are the fourth. Go ask. You might have a passport, but not of the same grade, guys. The moment you start building your home, developing your home, supporting every successful government to make a better Edo, you're going to see yourself being regarded, being respected as it was in the past, where our leaders were regarded because of their intellectual capacity that they displayed even when the world was still under development. The truth of the matter is this, guys. As at 14th century, the Edo people already understand how to read and write. I'm going to explain that carefully. We must build ourselves back again. Enough of this mediocrity and the kind of nature we are trying to display, taking away who we are from what we actually are. I've asked a question. How did we actually manage to picture the face of someone and to cast it as a bronze? Ida's face. Ovorame, no, Ovorame, there was already a light. Eware, and many of the Obas and their wives, and great men that did exploit in Benin. The children of Igun, who were actually the goldsmith, the bronze caster. We cast a face, then there was no picture, no photograph, nothing. And most of these people, their faces were being casted after their demise. Like a motor, for example. A motor was never recognized because she was a nobody until after her demise. And based on the help that Emoto actually rendered to Obayewari the first, so that's how Obayewari now immortalized her, who actually drew and make the facial look of a motor. That's to tell you the level of the Benin intelligence. But what has happened to all this great, wonderful exploit of the past? What has happened to all the praises that we received in the past? Why are we now becoming scared of returning back to ourselves? We are known as great warriors. People fear us because of what we will do in the battlefield. The Benin Kingdom was able to stop the invasion of Usman Danfodio in the 15th century into the southern part. Why is it that today we are becoming
the shadow of who we really were in the past. That's what we are calling. I am pleading. Let not allow the Benin kingdom to go into extinction. We have one of the greatest intellectuals today in the world in this 21st century. The guy who actually who is making drones for the American government is a Benin man. One of the best corps in Canada is a Benin man. The best medical doctors in United Kingdoms are from the Benin extraction. Come to Sweden, go to every part of the world. You see Benin doing exploits. My question is this: why are we afraid of returning back home to help develop our state? Somebody told me this evening before I came out, and he said, Humanist, do you know that the witches in Benin are becoming more terrible by the day? And I tried to educate the guy, but I'm going to educate everyone today. There is an adage in Benin that says, Isiaoma babi anabioba. In the presence of the evil ones, a king was born. The witches have been there before now. What has actually changed is the strength and power that we possess in the past. Our mistakes today are now being defined as the handiwork of the witches and wizards. They were there in the past. In their present, their husband were among the people who dug the moat. Their husband were among the people who actually built the wall of the palace. Do you know how the wall of the palace was built? Guys, do you know? Do you know that? That was the level of intellectuality. In those days in Benin, when they want to use the mud sand, the mud, it came by. Do you know what they do there in those days? They put the mud. They put the mud, mix the mud with water, with oil, palm oil. That was brilliancy. My grandfather told me then, when he was building his house, they will mix the mud with palm oil. And I asked him, I said, Papa, why? So when you mix palm oil with the mud, when the rain falls, it's just like you just cemented the wall. It does not wash away the what's it called, the mud. This was before the invention of Smith. That was how intelligent these people were. Have you asked yourself the question? How did the Benin manage to discover the coral beads? That they have not become the hallmark of the entire southern Nigeria today. Have you asked yourself, how did we discover the goldsmith? Even before the white men came, they were already dealing on goldsmith and bronzes. There was no iron in that time. Nothing of such. It means they actually went and dug these materials from the soil. Because there was no iron. Okay, they melted iron or whatever. These guys actually went to the soil. They dug the material. How do they know that those materials they were digging was actually bronze or gold, all the way for coral beads. That was the level of their intelligence. They built a Benin of their time. They left a legacy for you and I. And today they expect you to start off from where they stopped by building on the foundation they've laid. But unfortunately, guys, we left this foundation for a very, very, very long time. The foundation that our forefather built had been outgrown by weed of discouragement, by weed of hatred, by weed of pulley down syndrome, by weeds of backbiting, by weeds of jealousy. We've dragged it down. The foundation is overgrown. The foundation will be taken over with the weed of destruction. That wasn't the hallmark of our forefathers. If they were jealousy, I do not think that Ogiso Igodo, the son of Paidu, would have been allowed to climb the throne of the ancient kingdom of Benin as the first king of the sky. There was so much hatred and backbiting. I'm not sure that the subsequent kings would have, moved on in such an harmonious manner till today. Yeah, we're going to have our differences sometimes. We have differences in order to build more on our trust and confidence in who we are. Can we continue in this part? The answer is no. We need God. We need you to develop a door. It is our time. Let us not leave this earth without not leaving a legacy behind for someone to talk about. We are created to make history. Every one of us, whether good or bad, you are created for a purpose. Maybe this is the time for the Benin history to be retold to the generation that will going to come after us. You see, the generation, my generation is so much keen about seeing a united Edo. My generation is so much keen about seeing an Edo that will be so united that will take up the responsibility of trying to create who they are, even in the midst of these controversies. We need us to come back. Let's develop Edo. I heard of a man, a medical doctor in America, who came to one of those villages in the east and built a multi-billion-naira hospital. I know there are many of those that are wealthy, but we are scared. of what the witches will do. But there's one thing I want to tell you guys. They will do little or nothing if your hands are clean. Many of our brothers, particularly in America and in United Kingdom, had refused to come home. With all the millions of dollars and pounds that they have, they do not have not a single project at home. The country we will live in today was actually built by the people, not the government. We are agitating for a Benin state, a Benin nation. I've seen a lot of posters on United Kingdom of Great Benin, UKGB. My friend, my brother, Omba Stefan, Aipa Joseph Ogiho, and many others have been championing that cause. That is a wonderful idea. But my question is this. If we finally get the kingdom that we are agitating for, what is going to be the difference between the Edo of now, the Benin of now, and the Benin of your dreams? When we do not start to fix the Edo, the Benin of today. One thing we need to understand carefully, why we must all start thinking on, is this. If anything happened to the union called Nigeria today, and the Benins are willing or wishing to have their own kingdom, without not having a proper foundational planning, there will be no difference between the Nigeria of today and the Benin kingdom, or the Benin nation, or whatever name you want to call it. But if we have a lot of us coming home based on what we have acquired, based on the knowledge we have actually acquired from the Western world, to develop home, we're going to see ourselves, migrating from this low cadre that we find ourselves today to a very high cadre that people will start seeing us and respect us. I want to beg all of you, let's think home. Let's think Edo. Let's promote our culture. Let's make Edo great. The integrity of the Edos should be paramount in whatever you do. Let's stop rubbishing the image of the Edo people. Let's build a kingdom that we were once proud of. Let's raise the banner and let's sell Edo to the world for good. Let's reduce on all the negativities that we have been creating, both on social media and off social media. Let unity prevails on the Edo kingdom. Let's build a kingdom that is better than the one our forefathers built for us. Let's bridge the gap of this unity among the Edo siblings, the Benin siblings. Let's draw one rope and say together we shall make Edo great again. God bless you guys. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. Please share this video. Let it go viral as much as you can. And stay blessed. Bye for now, guys.
Yeah, hello guys. Thank you for that very video that you just watched right now. That video was actually from me, and I did it. Like I said, sometimes I do some videos when I'm offline. When the thing comes in, it's like it's like an inspiration. I just put them in videos to share with us. And that's my thinking, how we can think inward to make Edo State great again. It's a pleading. No matter what we think, Edo is home. We are still home. There is no place like home. We would have lived in any part of the world as we believe it to be, but there is no place like home. We'll continually to have this mindset and build a home that we'll be so very much proud of. Thank you, guys. Don't forget, 7 o'clock tonight again, we are going to have a show that we will be doing tonight, 7 o'clock tonight. Question and answer with Humanist. Please be there. You can bring up all these questions, how to make Edo State great. It's going to be all about Edo. Question and answer with Humanist on how to make Edo State great again. It will be tonight topic. It will do it every Wednesday from 7 o'clock. It's about 3 hours program, with all the Edos and every other person coming in to see how we can make it better Edo, Okay, guys. Thank you. God bless you guys. See you 7 o'clock because it's time I need to have some break up. And bye for now.